a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread.
What if I told you that one of Hollywood's most perfect, polished classics has been hiding secrets for nearly 60 years? Brand new behind-the-scenes photos from The Sound of Music have just leaked. Here are 9 unexpected, rare behind-the-scenes photos never seen by the public that have finally been leaked. You know that stunning opening scene with Julie Andrews spinning in the mountains? Well, the story of how that shot was captured is far more chaotic and surprising than it appears on screen. One image shows a helicopter dipping low, crew members bracing, and Julie Andrews almost on the floor with her hair violently thrown forward by the downdraft. Not only that, the camera operator, Paul Beeson, was strapped to the helicopter's landing skid because traditional cranes couldn't reach the mountaintop. The helicopter had to hover dangerously close to get the sweeping shots of Julie. Every time the helicopter circled back, the wind knocked Andrews flat. She fell 9 times. Each fall meant a reset. Makeup, dress, hair, all ruined by mud. But while the mountains knocked Andrews down, the next photos showed strangers in the valleys. A newly surfaced photo showed the 7 child actors sitting on a terrace with books open and a woman leaning over them. Not a director, but their private tutor. Austrian law required child actors to keep up with their studies. The studio had to hire tutor Gene Seaman, who taught classes between takes, sometimes in gardens, sometimes in corridors, depending on where they were shooting. It's no surprise the kids became little Salzburg experts. Their teachers turned the city into their classroom, adding walking lessons to their school routine. By the time filming wrapped, they knew the landmarks better than many visitors. But their education wasn't the only hidden system on set, because the next released images revealed the secret. Christopher Plummer hated the movie, but the photos suggest something even deeper. One of the photos showed Plummer leaning against a wall, head bowed, holding a wine glass, with a crew member quietly taking it from his hand. Plummer openly called the film The Sound of Mucus. He struggled with the tone, the songs, even the sweetness of the story. On set, he often drank to relax between takes, especially during downtime. A production assistant reportedly swapped his prop wine with colored water during emotional scenes to keep him sharp, something multiple crew members confirmed years later. But while Plummer wrestled with his role, the children faced a danger far more physical and, for one of them, nearly deadly. The cutest child actor couldn't swim, and there was almost a disaster on set. The boat was seen on the lake just seconds before the famous capsize scene, with 2 crew members already stepping toward the water. Kim Carruth, Gretel, couldn't swim. The moment the boat flipped, all the kids tumbled into the water. However, Julie Andrews fell on the wrong side of the boat and couldn't reach Gretel. A crew member had to dive in and pull her up. One unveiled photo shows Kim wrapped in a blanket afterward, still crying from the scare. The water was dramatic, but it wasn't the only place where the truth slipped through the cracks. One room in the real Von Trapp home was locked, and the cast was told never to enter. One leaked photo showed a dim corridor inside Schloss Leopoldskron, the real villa used for exterior shots. Every door was opened except one, marked by a handwritten sign, "Family Only." This room contained personal Von Trapp belongings, diaries, religious artifacts, and early manuscripts used by the children during their real rehearsals. The descendants didn't want Hollywood touching them. The cast respected the boundary, but now with this photo circulating, fans are wondering what emotional truths were kept hidden inside. But that's not all. Just wait, because the biggest surprise hasn't even arrived yet. Andrews and Plummer filmed a romantic scene that no one has ever seen. The photo showed them on a gazebo in evening light, standing closer than required, laughing between lines. The scene doesn't appear in the film nor in any official rehearsal footage. Production notes showed director Robert Wise experimenting with an additional pre-kiss moment. It was meant to intensify the chemistry, but the studio felt the scene was too intimate, too long, and far too emotionally intense. The leaked image suggests the chemistry wasn't just acting. Plummer later admitted, "Julie and I were extremely fond of each other." But here's the twist. Archivists say another box from the Salzburg shoot has just been uncovered. It contains a deleted ending and an entire night shoot that went horribly wrong. And as if that wasn't dramatic enough, the cast soon faced a new challenge. Everyone can clearly remember those sunlit alpine scenes, but behind the camera, it rained cats and dogs. The production faced what was on record as the worst spring weather Salzburg had in 50 years. According to cast recollections, the rain was so persistent that many of the on-location scenes had to be postponed or relocated to covered sets. Because of that bad weather, some scenes meant to look like wide alpine landscapes were actually shot in the studio. As rain wreaked havoc, the children grew, and not just in spirit. The kids' looks started changing in the middle of filming, and the crew had to adjust to keep everything consistent. Yet all of that was nothing compared to the secret that surfaced next. The Von Trapp children didn't stay little for long, and the filmmakers could hardly hide it. For instance, Charmaine Carr, who played Liesel, ended up standing on a box in some scenes to maintain her height relative to the other actors. And there were more physical mishaps. In one account, Carr apparently broke a glass pane in the gazebo, cut and sprained her ankle, but she carried on. On top of that, some of the children lost baby teeth during filming. Debbie Turner, Marta, reportedly lost several, and dentists had to give her false teeth for continuity. While the children were growing up on set, tensions between the adult actors simmered, especially for Captain Von Trapp. And right after that unforgettable shot, the next moment became a legend on set. You've always seen Maria arriving as the cheerful governess for all 7 Von Trapp children, but that's not what really happened. In real life, she wasn't sent to the Von Trapp villa to care for an entire brood. Rather, she came to tutor just one fragile girl. In 1926, the Grand Von Trapp household loomed in Salzburg, but beneath its elegant facade, worry had settled. Maria Franziska, George Von Trapp's second oldest daughter, is gravely unwell. She's recovering from scarlet fever, the same disease that claimed her mother, and is too weak to walk the 4 miles to school. George, a stern formal naval commander, isn't looking for a playful nanny or a singing companion. He wanted someone who could teach, guide, and heal. Maria Augusta Kuchera, not yet the iconic Maria from the movie, but a young novice in the convent, is chosen for a temporary 10-month assignment to tutor Maria Franziska. She's not hired as a governess for all the Von Trapp children, despite what the film suggests. In her own words, she accepted because of her training. She had studied at Vienna State Teachers College for Progressive Education, and the Abbey believed her gentle but disciplined approach would suit a child who needed more than just care. She needed structure and compassion. These rare behind-the-scenes photos remind us that even the most flawless classics were built on real moments, laughter, mistakes, and pure human magic. Which of these revelations most surprised you? While you're still here, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, thanks for watching.